And now to a developing story. Vaping continues to be a real problem in schools across the country. Well, now a group of Central Florida students wants to make some changes.
Yeah, they certainly do. So they're getting ready to head to Tallahassee, and their goal here is to pressure lawmakers into finding a fix for this growing issue.
I see my friends doing it, and I don't want them to harm themselves because they don't know what's going to happen to them in the future. They're having fun now, they're worried about the present, but in 10-15 years, we don't know the harmful effects.
Nearly 4 million underage smokers use e-cigarettes nationwide, and district leaders say the trend is now turning into an epidemic on a local level. From 2017 to 2018, one study showed a 78% spike in high school usage and a 48% spike in middle schools. And the number of referrals given this year for tobacco possession in Brevard schools is 5 times that of last year. Board members think that in some ways, e-cigs are worse than smoking cigarettes.
You're marketing to students with these fruit flavors and candy flavors. It seems like it's such an innocent, thing, but it can be so much more dangerous because one cartridge is the equivalent of a pack of 20 cigarettes.
Brevard student government leaders plan to present their proposal for fixing the problem next week, hoping to add on to an existing bill. They want to require manufacturers to list all of the ingredients on their packaging and to make those companies put money into an anti-tobacco campaign similar to what cigarette companies do.
I go into school and I see people doing it every day in classes, in the bathrooms. You can't go a single day without seeing students juul or vape. So I think it's just an important cause.
And we are joined live now by Cassie Ruiz. She is a senior at Space Coast Junior Senior High School. She's one of the students going to be heading up to Tallahassee next week. Hey, Cassie, good morning to you. It's good to see you.
Hi, good morning.
Why is this cause so important to you, and what have you seen in your own school?
So a couple of months ago when we first mentioned the problem in our SGA meeting, all of the SGA presidents from every school jumped on it because they said that we're all noticing it in our schools. People doing it in class because they're so concealable now, people doing it in the bathroom, and people just don't know the effects of it, of how much these juuls are affecting them and the chemicals in them. People are saying that it's just flavored air and that it's not really having health effects because it's better than smoking. But it's affecting, friends, peers, everyone. We see it all the time in our schools, and we think that we could really make a difference because we found out that, or when we heard that they don't have to disclose the chemicals on the products and that so many people don't know what's in it, we just thought that that was absurd and that there should be something done about it.
One of the things I find interesting is I have a kid at every level, elementary, middle, high school, right? And the middle and high school is where I find my kids tell me that everybody that they know vapes. At least one person they know vapes. Why do you think kids who may be really book smart, right, may not be as intelligent when it comes to knowing the dangers of vaping?
I think part of it has to do with peer pressure, and another part is just the lack of education from the vaping companies and the advertisements, how they're geared towards teenagers and they make them look cool. And I think that, and part of what we're asking from legislature is that they have a campaign in the school systems and that they're teaching kids even at the elementary school level and middle school level and high school level the dangers of it. So even at the elementary school level they can start learning the dangers of it, and that's part of the reason that we're fighting for this, is that vaping companies should be held to the same standard that smoking companies are and should have to contribute to these education campaigns so that people know how big of a problem this is and what it's doing to their bodies.
So you're going to be heading up to Tallahassee next week, and I have to ask you, this is kind of you becoming an activist of sorts. And so is this the first time that you've become deeply involved in something like this?
Here, there you go. Yeah.
Yes, this is the first time I've been to Tallahassee and been able to talk to lawmakers. I've done a few things in my school about it, but this is the biggest thing that I've definitely done.
And very quickly, just a message, if you could, to talk to your high school peers. What would you tell them? We've got about 10 seconds left.
Educate yourselves and don't just do it for peer pressure. Take care of your bodies and learn exactly what you're doing. It's important for your future.
Well, we wish you the best of luck in Tallahassee next week. Cassie Ruiz, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate you.